Hello everyone, welcome to our spring supper. Kathy King here, the Executive Director of Sonoma Overnight Support. I hope that you picked up your meal and are enjoying it right now, and that for those of you who made donations, thank you for your support. A special thanks to Dan and Dawn and the volunteers that helped prepare the 4-course meal, and also to the wineries who gave us the wines from Mark Harold Wines, Bartholomew Winery, Kivelstadt, San Giacomo, and Larson Family Winery. Usually at this time of the year, we have our annual Mother's Day luncheon, and we give out awards to individuals, churches or congregations, and civic groups who have been supportive of SOS and of feeding the hungry and sheltering the homeless in Sonoma and Sonoma Valley. This year, I'm pleased to announce the following awards.
My name is Jack Dean. I'm the tax person in this town. This is my office, 755 the Broadway. I'm so proud. I have this practice, serve out the local people. In 2008, I moved from the East Bay to the Sonoma, and I love this city. And also I got a contact with the Ken Brown. At that time, he was the mayor on the city council. And then I said, I would like to find a volunteer work. And one day, he sent me to SOS. English is my second language. When I the first time came to SOS, Haven the shelter, that it is a parking lot, I saw that as the nameplate. That is actually is a haven, but I treated it as a heaven. In my mind, so wow, that is really good. I keep this language mistake for many years until several years later I realized, yes, the English is my second language, but I would like to keep this kind of mistake in my mind. Haven in Sonoma is really at heaven for our homeless community, because they are a part of our community. And the favorite part, that is every time when we did very little, and the people recognize, and that is amazing. For example, in the last year, I helped one of our clients who hasn't filed a tax return more than 10 years. I said, wait a minute, we know you. You work hard and to raise the 2 kids. So I did a research based on a very solid lawful ground. I faced this kind of challenge and helped him to prepare 3 years of tax return. And then one time I went to his house, actually is in a trailer, trailer park. And then he was so excited with the 2 kids, and then and said, oh, thank you, Jack. At that time, it's a really, really my happy time. And the service mean to me return, because I'm an immigrant. I got a lot of difficulties when I come to this country. A lot of the people give me support, give me the help, give me the encouragement. Right now, I think it's the time for me to take it back, to serve our community, especially Sonoma. I call this a home.
My name is Sharon P, and I'm the treasurer of the Sonoma Valley Women's Club Foundation. I'm Madeline Agramonte, and I'm president of the Sonoma Valley Women's Club Foundation.
Hi, I'm Lori Versamis. I was the VP of Programs for the Sonoma Valley Women's Club around this time last year. I've only been a member of the club for a year, and now I'm on the board of the foundation.
Well, it's kind of a wonderful story here in the city of Sonoma. The club was founded in 1901 by 11 women. They started the club. We actually have been responsible for bringing all the lawn, the trees, to the plaza, as well as cleaning it up, cleared it, had volunteers from all over the city bring in turf. They put in a fountain. They put in, I believe, the fish pond, and got us our library, which is now the Visitors Bureau, which I think is wonderful. We've done an awful lot here in Sonoma.
I think for me, it's kind of like the signs that came up after the fires in 2017 that the air, the love in the air is thicker than smoke.
Yeah.
It's that same concept that we can't be held back as a community just because we're not seeing one another and connecting.
For me, that's absolutely true. I think it really said to everybody, in spite of the quarantine, you cannot keep us apart.
The service is about humility, understanding that we're part of something larger than ourselves, and being willing to help and collaborate with our community to make it better.
Service to me is about commitment and about following through and just giving from your heart. And that's exactly what I think this club did. We came up with the idea, we jumped in feet first, we all pulled together, and it was to help our community in a time of real need. And I think what I enjoyed the most are women coming together for a common cause. We didn't need anybody to lead us. We did this by ourselves, and we just staged it the way it needed to be staged. For me, it was about the not only the connection, but to see the excitement in others. I mean, we had people from out of town search down Madeline to say, how do I get one of those signs? I live in, Petaluma or something, but I need that sign. So it was really rewarding to get that. I think we did an awful lot for SOS, and I'm very proud of that.
What's your name and what do you do?
My name is Sally Wei. Originally, I was from Taiwan, but I moved to United States 32 years ago. Now I'm an American too. Tsuji is actually a form of Buddhism, but its principle is a little bit different than the traditional, or let's say familiar Buddhism, that people just sit in their temple and meditate all day. Our principle is Buddhism in action. I think service means it's just a duty. We were born this way, like it's supposed to be your daily life. It's part of your daily life. You wake up, you brush your teeth, but you wake up, as long as you're still living, you should have that concept that you are part of the community and other people are just your family. So we have a very humble area that we prepare food.
Rice.
Right, rice. Lots of rice cookers, of course. And then there's some simple stuff. We do most of our charity activities outside of this office. We believe that we should go among people to discover their suffering. And then from their suffering, we honor them as our teachers. Because we don't look at them, okay, I'm better than you, I'm a giver. As a Buddhist and all the teaching, the Tzu Chi school of Buddhism, is that you have to eliminate the idea that you are a giver and people are the recipient. Because one day, he may become a giver and you're a recipient. You never know. These are products for disaster relief. So for the most of the time, they'll produce mass production if it's needed. I can really feel the director, Kathy Kings, and all the staff, their love for the people walking into their building. That sometimes, we will have the attitude to think that, oh, we're a charity organization. We are better than those people on the street. But in SOS, I never found that. I found everyone is just trying to solve other people's problem whenever it comes. And that really touches me. And so if you think I'm doing a wonderful job, I really want to thank everyone in SOS because you guys inspire me and always just remind me not to be lazy. I always have to put people in my heart and try to solve their problem as soon as it comes in. And I really cherish our partnership, and I hope this will go as long as I can do.
We also have another award that we don't give out every year, but it's very special to us, and it's called the Good Samaritan Award. The recipients for the past years have been Pastor Rob from Sonoma Alliance Church, posthumously to Elizabeth Kemp, one of our founders, and our past president, Cynthia Vroman. This year, I'm honored to announce that Police Chief Orlando Rodriguez is the recipient of this award. He leads by his example, care, and compassion, and his sheriffs use him as a model by the way that they treat our homeless, whether they're living in a car, under a bridge, or walking the streets. He truly is a partner with SOS, and we're proud to give him this award.
Okay. Orlando Rodriguez, and I'm the Chief of Police for the City of Sonoma. Well, the partnership started with Kathy King, and because the facilities right here next door to the police department. And in order for us to have a good working relationship, especially if they're going to be next door, is for us to get to know each other, get to know what our expectations of each other are, and making sure that we're on the same page when it comes to helping people. And I think that we've accomplished that from day one since I met Kathy. I realized that she was a very special person, that she not only cares, but she also holds everyone accountable. Yeah, I think that more and more police officers are asked to do more, and we're definitely becoming more of a social worker, and we have to have that in us because that's what we technically are. So when you see somebody who's not as fortunate as everybody else, we need to be compassionate about that, and we need to help. I know that there's a lot of officers out there that can share stories of that one time when they helped somebody. Instead of giving them a ticket, they did something different, and then 3 months later they get a thank you letter, or they say, "Hey officer, I was having a bad day, and that day who knows what I was going to do," and just you giving me that break just made a whole difference in the world. And that's where service comes in, and I believe that we have to not only listen to the people who are asking for us to do one thing, but also help those in need, right? Because that is, they're not asking for help. They really don't come out asking for help, but that they need some type of help. And we need to give them the same attention that we would give any other person. So we treat everybody the same. And when they see that we treat them with that dignity and respect, that if they would see something that's not right, like maybe there's some guy that shows up that's not right, and they might have different intentions, I think that they would call us and say, "Hey, there's a guy out here that's not right. Can you guys come and check him out?" And I'm pretty sure now, I think that would happen, because I think we have instilled that trust in them, on us, with us.
And now I'd like to introduce Julia, who had been living in our safe parking program and who was able to move on to permanent housing with the help of SOS.
I'd parked my van for years around Sonoma. You know, when I'd come back, my father was here, and I had to find safe places to park while I was visiting with my dad. And I took care of him for the last year of his life, and he had Parkinson's. And basically, there was no place to park that was safe. So everything trundled along fine until, as I mentioned, I got sick. I got very sick and was in the hospital for months. I was in a number of hospitals for months. And so that really knocked the wind out of my sails. You know, probably I've always been very athletic and very physically strong. And so other women my age probably would have slowed down a lot earlier anyway. But I just, I was fine until I wasn't. And by that time, my dad had passed away. And so I just had to find a way to make it, you know, to survive. The shelter, the Sonoma shelter for me was just fundamental in getting my ducks in a row to organize, you know, all the paperwork. Otherwise, they make it very difficult. There's this phone number that you call, I think it's like 611 or something. And people call it, and it's like hundreds of thousands of people call it. And, you know, then the person on the other line can say, you know, we'll put you on the list, or maybe not. And that's it. You know, it's just amazing that I got this apartment.
Thank you all for your support. Very grateful to the SOS board, our volunteers, and you most of all, to help us continue to serve those most vulnerable in our community. Thank you.